Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shock Talk. Man, I have to calm myself down here. I'm so excited. We have lots of fun guests on the show. We just finished the Baja 1000. BILSTEIN loves racing and water. But before we get started with that topic, I'm going to introduce everybody at the table with me here today. I have Kyler. He's kind of new to the show, but he's been with BILSTEIN quite some time. He is our race shock tuner for off-road racing, and he also is running our service department.
Yep.
Welcome, Kyler.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have RJ Zanon. He is the Bronco man. He has finished the Baja 1000 in a more or less stock Bronco. We'll hear that story coming up. We have Ricardo Torres. He is also one of BILSTEIN's sponsored racers, and he is absolutely amazing. He finished the race so clean and so fast that almost no one saw it. But we'll hear that story as well. So welcome, everybody. This is essentially our Baja 1000 recap. So BILSTEIN, I want to say bad words, but we absolutely killed it at this race. You guys killed it. So we'll start with Ricardo. For you, for the race, kind of give us some of the highlights, the lowlights, how the race went for you, the weather. Fill us in on that. We'll talk more about that, but let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, we started, a week before the race, going out there pre-running, setting the notes pretty good. Just every day, just going out there, clicking miles and getting some good new notes and changing notes here and there. And then the race came along and we just kind of set the pace early and kind of got the guys behind me, braking one at a time, and just on the radio I heard, hey, Honda factory team is blowing the motor. I'm like, okay, cool. It's time to step it down and just keep going and let the race come to us and just kind of set the pace and go to the finish.
And your car's kind of unique. I don't think the folks maybe not know what car you drive, but it's a Honda Talent. We don't see too many of those in Baja. So tell us a little bit about the car.
Yeah, it's a Raceco Honda Talent chassis. I mean, it's all built in-house with Jamie. It's really great parts. It's a different suspension is a little different from the factory to us. It's just a 2 rear radius rods instead of 3.
Okay.
And it's got a 1 pivot in the front, so
it's cleaning things
it's
up
a lot cleaning stuff. It's a lot less, alignment issues and stuff. So it cycles a lot better and cleaner.
It doesn't have the massive scrub that maybe the regular car does, right? So you're not bringing the rear tires.
Yeah, it kind of stays pretty straight. It's a little bit of scrubbing-ish, but it doesn't have a lot like the other cars have. But it's pretty straight, but we just kind of limit it on travel. But
what's the travel on the front of the car?
I don't want to say a wrong number. I'm not sure off my head.
Okay, but it's a little bit less than stock, I'm thinking, simply because it's a race car. Probably choked up on things a little bit.
Yeah, we have it choked up for just the angle, CV angle and stuff, but I don't want to say the wrong number.
Right,
so
no problem. We won't hold you to it,
Yeah.
but I'm sure folks are interested. Everybody wants to know, how much travel does it have? How much travel does it have? Well, we know it's, probably around, you give me a number that you think that car would have.
Front, probably 10 to 11 inches.
Right, I was going to say 13 stock.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then rear's probably 12 around.
Yep.
But yeah, they're definitely choked up for the CV axles to preserve those during the race. So yeah, what I'm intrigued, because I know everyone knows like the Blackhawks and stuff on like the Mavars or like the Can-Ams.
Yep.
Why did you choose a Honda Talent?
I get asked that question. I don't know why, and I tell my boss Dave Petter, hey, so why did we go to a Honda? Hey, why do we, why not a Polaris? Why, but we have no answer. I mean, I just, like you said, it's kind of limited. Not a lot of Hondas are out there. So I think that's what Dave wanted, to go out there and kind of, represent, not Honda, but like bring the community, like get the Honda out there.
Right. Something unique.
And it's not like, you go down Ocotillo, Glamis, everywhere. It's like, oh, Polaris are, that's it.
1,000 of those.
1,000 of those everywhere. And then you go see a Honda Talent pass by, you're like, oh, what is that? What's,
Well, I mean, we were just at Camp Razor, so you park a Polaris or a Can-Am Mavar at the Glamis Beach store, and you come out and you don't remember which one's yours. So,
yeah, they're all the same, and so many
just
accessories, but it's like Can-Am or Polaris.
Yeah, same thing.
So my curiosity on that car is, so what's really different? Like, does it have a transmission, or is it belt drive, or how is it different from the
So it's a dual clutch setup,
Okay.
and it has a 6-speed. So you
Okay.
can go sequential or
Very cool.
let it be automatic.
right?
So you can go off and on, and you can either go to sequential on the paddle shifter on the
Right,
steering
right.
wheel, or you can just leave it and it'll shift on its own.
Yeah.
You can have sport mode, and then you can either do 4-wheel drive on the fly or just 2-wheel drive on the fly too as well.
So this locks up a championship for you?
Yeah, back to back. So
Yep.
last year Dave Petter was driver record, but I was still starting for him,
Okay.
and then he would do like the last 200.
Take all the glory.
Take all the glory. But coming into this season, he gave me an opportunity to come on, and show kind of everyone out there
You showed him.
and be driver record. So
Exactly.
now, kind of a 2-2-1-1
Nice.
for the whole season. So I think it's a pretty good accomplishment. That it's crazy. Like,
Pretty good? That's
It's-
damn good.
It's
Yeah.
it's just a lot of time and just crazy. I just still can't believe it.
It's
winning
still
the Baja
fresh. I mean,
1000.
that's-
It's like
right.
coming home Monday and it's like phone calls here or there. I'm like, dude, it's like what's going on? Dude? It's just it doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like Kyler was saying. He's still like living on adrenaline from the race, and I rode in car watching it on the video cameras, right? And I feel like I lived through it. I'm like, whoa, that's insane, And then now we got to throw in the weather. Any other questions that you have about the car or the suspension? I mean, we can get back into it,
Yeah.
but in general,
Maybe just what section of the race you found the most difficult? Is it like the mental, the physical, the car? Maybe what section of the race was the most demanding?
The most difficult was Catavina coming out of there. It was scary because like you would break, there's cactuses everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, let's just get through this. Just our mental was like, okay, just go, just kind of pre-run pace, but just a little bit, on the pedal. But it's like, okay, let's get out of here. Like we don't want to be in the middle of nowhere and then either have to walk, but no, I mean obviously not walk.
Yeah.
right?
Either wait for a chase guy the next day or something. But
Exactly. That area is
we were
really
just
tight,
kind of like,
hard to
oh,
get in
come
there.
on, just keep going.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we get out of there. Okay, it's time on. Let's go. Little pedal on it. So
No major issues for you during this race?
no, I mean it was a solid day. I mean we got 2 flats, which is it's normal. It's
Mhm.
Baja 1000, but other than that, I mean it was just go, and car was flawless. It was almost a perfect day.
Oh, that's amazing.
Minus just flats, but I mean we can take the flats away. It was just a perfect day.
So the weather, you got through clean without too bad of weather. Now you were telling me you had some pretty major rain towards the end, or did you
Yeah,
get
so
through that?
I started the race. We got out at 450. It was clean. It's just dusty, right?
Mhm.
No rain, no nothing. But I got towards the end to do the finish, and it was like I was cleaning the chase truck. We hopped in the last 50 miles, and it was just puddle after puddle, freaking
mud,
had to put the
sand,
visor up.
water.
And it was crazy. It was just third my eyes, and just trying to clean it.
Yeah,
Close the visor, hit a puddle. You couldn't see shit, so we were just going straight,
Yeah.
wiping it.
Yeah.
Oh, go straight, and then just keep wiping. It was just crazy.
Well, I mean, those visors, as scratch resistant as they are, you get a rag covered in sand and mud and you just keep wiping the same spot. You're just going to be looking through massive scratches, and then you scratch up the inside of the lens trying to clean that off. It's just, I mean,
And then it gets foggier, so then we're trying to turn on the air,
Yeah.
and then it gets more foggy. We're trying
and
to
then
turn
your
it down.
cover clogs
and then
up and you can't see through
we're
it.
trying to do the visor lift, and you're swiping. All the rags are all dirty. So I'm like, oh darn it, another one. Pull another one out. Just wiping everything. It was just crazy.
But more or less, I mean, it sounds like the weather didn't bug you too bad other than towards the end, the mud and all that. Now, did you get tied up in any of the rerouting of the course, or were you done before they did that?
We got rerouted on
Okay.
towards Rancho Nelson.
Right.
We
So
just did a little
didn't do
short
Ensenada
portion.
Wash and
We did Ensenada
Okay,
Wash
okay.
in the start. We did the
Right.
start,
Right.
traditional start
Right.
until wash, and
okay.
we came out of that. But
Mhm.
towards the finish, we didn't go through the wash because it was raining. So
Right.
we got that reroute through the
Right.
Rancho Nelson.
Yeah, that's crazy. That I think this is only the second time in the history of Baja that they rerouted the course. I was doing some research and they delayed it once for rain, and I think 19 in the 70s they rerouted the course and delayed it, and then this time, so maybe 3 times total where they've actually changed or rerouted the course mid race. That's That's crazy. The amount of water that came down. I live here just north of San Diego, and the rain gauge said 4.5 inches between Friday and Saturday morning. So it came down. It really made a mess out there.
Yeah,
you were there.
Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, it wasn't too bad because we were on the San Felipe side, kind of pre-running. It's beautiful over there. It was great. And then Friday came around, got a little bit colder, and then we went down south, came back, and then we drove over to Valley T and Ensenada, and then by the time we got over there, it's just downpouring.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because we were pre-running that whole weekend, and then we were coming down. We finished Querétaro, and we went around Highway 5. So we did that San Felipe section when you guys told me wash and stuff. We had our sweaters on, and, you know, it was kind of chilly. And then we come out of the chase trucks, and we're like, whoa, it just smacked. It was freaking hot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit. And it was almost getting dark. So I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather just was super crazy. Just the temperature change, the wind. It got really windy where I live north of San Diego, really windy. Like it was literally blowing the barbecue around on the deck. It was so windy. So I'm just sitting there watching some of the in-car videos going, oh my gosh, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah, no, we went from the whole team wearing flip-flops and shorts on the east side, and then we go to Ensenada. I left all that on. I'm drenched within 5 minutes.
You're like, okay, I'm scuba diving right now.
Yeah. You know, to go in the trailer and get changed and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was downpouring for like, I mean, I don't know, like 3 o'clock in the morning until probably 9 o'clock in the morning, just nonstop. And a little bit of a break, but then just kept going. And you see all the racers pull up, and you can't, like your car, it's just covered in mud. You can't see anything on it. You can't even see the drivers in there.
You even see the numbers or the driver or anything. It's like, who's this? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they were asking like, dude, you were so clean. What happened to you? I'm like,
rain.
This last little section, you know, it's crazy. Freaking puddles everywhere.
You know, what's so interesting to me is watching some of the in-car stuff, the amount of work you guys do before the race. So the pre-running is insane. I mean, some of the stuff I was seeing detailed on the GPS units and things like that, what the co-driver was calling out. I mean, literally, like, there's going to be a rock on your right, and it's there. It's like, how much time does that take to put that much effort into your pre-running? Were you guys there like a month ahead of time, or how many times do you think you went over that spot in order to get all that stuff recorded?
We go over it twice at least. We're there probably a week and a half-ish before the race, and we do the first round. We just kind of go take, you know, just like the common notes and kind of run through it. The second time is when we kind of push the pace a little bit, but then we kind of detail the notes, hey, or stop real quick, and then we'll put like rocks or sticking out or anything, you know, and then we'll kind of pick up the pace and kind of dial in the notes a little bit better.
Get them
kind of
closer to race speed.
And then we'll kind of maybe back up the note a little bit, a couple 100 feet or whatever, back a little bit, and we'll kind of go in detailing it and stuff. So
yeah, that to me.
But usually we'll be there like a week and a half-ish.
Yep.
Not 2 weeks. Like last year we try to do like maybe 2 weeks before the race, but as the race gets closer and people start pre-running more,
the course
changes.
Yeah.
So I kind of we like the week and a half-ish because it doesn't change much, but it kind of changed after the 40s and go through and all that.
The grooves change, the silt beds change, you know, a rock moves from one side of the road to the other because someone hit it, you know, that kind of stuff. But the major corners, the speed zones, all that kind of stuff is going to stay more or less the same.
For example, we were coming out of Colonat, and we had a pit there at BFG Pit 1, I believe. And we were coming on a corner, and we didn't have any notes for that rock, but you know, the trophy trucks going through, all the cars already going through there. I came on a corner, and boom, there goes a rock, and that's what we got.
Flat tire, yeah.
There's a flat tire.
Yep.
Darn it.
I guess it's like your question, like how much the course changed from like what you were pre-running to like actual race day, because you pre-run, you see like, oh, it's maybe a small whoop section, or this is here and that's here. And you go through the race, and it could change drastically. So I wonder, like, how much did it change for you guys out there?
Probably like 85% it changed.
Wow. With the water, of course.
Yeah, and then with water, and then, you know, we start way in the back. So by the time all the trophy trucks go by, all the class 10s go by, you know, all the buggies, and we're already, like 200 cars deep.
Right.
So by the time we go through there, it's either you pick the line and you stay in it, because once you're in the line, we can't get out of the line. So, like, for example, there where I got the flat, it's like there was 2 lines, but I hit that line, and sure enough, I came around the corner, and it was just boom, and I saw it, but I couldn't stop. I just smacked it, and sure enough, there it is, flat. So I'm like, darn it. So we almost had a perfect day, but
well, I mean,
flat, but
regards to your co-driver, he's the one that gets out and changes the flats, right? So that took care of that problem. Did you drive the race Ironman or?
No, so I drove the first half to 450. I got out, and then Mikey hopped in and finished it to, it was like 8:10, I believe.
Okay.
And then I hopped in and did the rest.
Okay. Co-driver was the same all the time?
Co-driver, we had Chris Ariaza. He's my co-driver. And then we had Brett Millen as a second co-driver.
Nice. So a solid crew.
Solid crew.
Did,
yeah, everyone
did their job.
They were on time. Everyone's just, like I said, we almost had a perfect day, but just flats, which, it happens.
Yeah. So we have to ask this question since we are BILSTEIN. How big of a role did the shocks play in the race? Was it like absolutely like if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have made it, or it was just like, okay, it's just a shock, we got it done?
From previous shocks that we had to now, I think it's car works way better.
Right.
It's a lot different car. There's little things to work on for sure. I mean, we've been having the shocks just for a year.
Right.
I guess
Fairly new.
Fairly new, but it's like there's little things to work on, but I think we can get this car a lot better. And with this shock package that we have on it, it'll probably be unstoppable.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we probably haven't spent a full tuning project with you guys yet. We've just been kind of hit and miss with all the races that we're trying to do. But to get through the race, not just get through the race, win the race back to back with the race before that, the shocks have to have something to do with that, since I've been doing this a long time, and I realize that if the chassis is unstable, the driver can't drive it, the driver gets tired, the car falls apart, you're breaking drive lines, you're breaking suspension components, links, all kinds of stuff, ball joints, everything's falling apart. It's just amazing to me. I think this is the first real proof or proving grounds, or the first time the Blackhawks have gone end to end in Baja.
For the 1,000?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe. And I think it's really cool to show too that, like, kind of what I was saying before, it's not Can-Am, it's not
right Honda Talent.
It's a talent.
Yeah,
it's something
talent.
different.
So everyone's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
talent.
Yeah,
they had to work harder on the talent, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then we were talking with Jamie when I was out of the car. He goes, dude, you know that you were like top 3 in the force induction class, and you're on an NA car. I'm like, oh shit, was I?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'll be honest, I wasn't pushing it after I knew, the Honda factory team. I mean, give props to them, right? They fast drivers and stuff, but it's like, you pretty much did something amazing because they couldn't keep up. They were trying to push to pass, right? And like I said, I was comfortable with the car, with the shock package we had. We were just keep going. I never saw any dust behind us. We were just hit the blue light. Let's pass. Okay, keep going. It was just move. And it was just shocks were taking it.
Did you guys do any adjustments throughout the race or just set them and go?
So we almost closed them towards, before going to San Felipe, which we knew, we're limited on travel. We don't have the power-wise that other cars have, which, we get that. So we knew, hey, we're going to bump up the clickers, and we know San Felipe's tough. I mean, they're not whoops, they're walls,
exactly.
There, and especially with our limited travel that we have. So it's kind of like, okay, we knew. So we just clicked it, after that, just to kind of.
And then once got on smoother terrain, backed it down, or did you stay on full?
We stayed on it. We stayed on full, and then after, almost, 700 miles, I mean, I already sure the shocks were probably already beat, so they kept going. So we just kind of left it, and I got in, and after towards the finish, and we just kept pushing, and car was still moving.
You're like, this used to be hard, now it's medium.
Now
I think
it's
the shocks are kind of getting tired.
Yeah, the shocks are getting tired for sure, but it was still kind of keep going, bam, bam, bam. Yeah. Car was still taking it. So. Yeah, I gotta give props to Jamie at Raceco. I mean, that's unbelievable car. I mean, it's a Honda, right? They're reliable.
Yeah,
but it's.
Well, I was gonna say that. I mean, back when I was watching and attending Baja racing, Honda motorcycles, and then 3-wheelers and quads and everything they built seemed to always get through the race. It no matter what, one of them finished, right? So they have a reputation of finishing that race time and time and time again. So it's not like they're an unknown to Baja, but definitely unknown in the UTV side of things.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's cool to testify the shocks. We were kind of talking about this earlier, how like the harder you kind of drive these shocks and the harder you are on them, it seems like the better they perform.
Right.
And the better they react, especially with that like built-in JCO and the RCO in there. It just seems like it just goes better and better with the harder you go on it. So
yeah. Well, next year's goal is what, to shave an hour off his time?
oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we were kind of in the beginning. We were pushing for sure. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want factory to pass us because that was our goal. I mean, we went there with my co-driver Chris. We go, hey, we're going for the win, not the championship, and we already have one on our belt, which I get it. I mean, it's an honor to carry that, but it's like, all right, we need the Baja 1000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody wants a Baja 1000. It's hard to get.
Yeah.
And I always hear a lot of people, oh, what, you got it? What? It took me 10 years. It took me 8 years. What? I'm still doing it.
I got it in 5, huh?
Right? So now it's like, all right, we're going to go in for the finish.
Yeah.
We're not going to go and, just sit for the championship. And no. We're going to go first place. Okay, let's do it. So we just push, and there it is.
Well, I've interviewed a lot of drivers, Baja 1000 drivers, some of them almost twice my age, from the early days of Baja racing, and you pretty much nailed it. I mean, you have to find that balance between fast and destroying the car, because you can't win if the car falls apart in the first 200 miles.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of skill to find that balance. I mean, you can't just jump in the driver's seat, put the pedal on the floor. No matter what car it is, it's going to come apart at some point. So it does take a lot of restraint. Once you get to the point, like you said, okay, we're out in front, and chances are if we keep going the speed we're going, we're going to break records, but we might break the car. So
exactly.
Let's be a little bit more conservative, finish the race, bring it home for our sponsors and all that kind of stuff, because all that matters, right, when you're racing. So yeah, that was, to me, that's the calculations that needs to be made by the driver, going, all right, I know how fast I can go before this thing comes apart. I know that we have 896 miles, or however much they shortened it up this year, less than 1,000, right? I think they took 20 miles off the course by swapping out of the ending there. But anyways, it's just, that's the part that seems like, for a driver, calculating when to go fast and when not to go fast is the most important thing you can do.
And I think it's a good thing to shout out, like, the co-drivers too. So I think they play such a big part.
Amazing.
Keeping you cool, calm, and collected, telling you when to go and all that. Because I was talking to RJ, I don't know about you, like, with your racing experience, do you have, I know you guys are pushing hard, but do you have your co-driver still, like, there being like, all right, let's push it to 80%, let's go 60, back it off, push it? Or is that kind of like all on you think?
No, I asked them, like, hey, where we at? Or like, hey, can you contact the chase guys and see what we're at? And then I was like, how we doing? Like, should I push or not? Like, it's always back and forth talking. Hey, talk to me. Hey, are we going, we hitting something and we're not? Like, does it feel rough on your end? Because like, obviously you're driving, it feels different than when the co-driver just sitting there and rocking.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
But it's like, hey, where we at? Is a car, like, did we hit something hard? Did you feel it? Because I don't, sometimes, like, I'm driving, I hit some stuff, but it's like, I don't feel it on my end.
Well, you're concentrating on something else.
Yeah. So we're always talking back and forth and kind of see where we're at, and always consistently talking.
We'll probably have Caden and Emma on at some point, but I was riding in their in-car camera, and to watch the two of them work together was pretty amazing for me as well. I mean, the detail in their pre-running and things like that was super obvious, and the feedback, the communication between the driver and co-driver seemed like that really, like Kyler said, really made the race more they were able to share the load. The driver wasn't getting beat to death all the time trying to make all the decisions. It was a group decision. And, between their chase team and the other people on the course, all the information came to them and they got through it. I can see that position is, you're not steering the wheel and stepping on the gas pedal, but it seems to me that's very, very important. The other thing that I wanted to shout out to is, for both you guys, the support on your chase teams, the crews that chipped in to get this all done. It's simply not the two people in the car.
It's not.
There's a lot of people behind the scenes that really don't get any credit, but they do a lot of work. They're out there in the rain and the mud, working on the cars and hauling gas and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you were doing a lot of that stuff. Yeah. So it was like, you look at those people in the trenches that are doing all that work, they don't really get enough credit. So shout out to both you guys, your teams,
to all
on
the
both
team,
sides.
because
Just
like
super crazy amount.
yeah,
of work they do.
without those guys, it's like car won't go to the next pit, or
Exactly.
it won't finish the race without those guys. You know?
Yeah.
And I always tell them like, dude, thank you guys for coming on. It's like
Yep.
it wouldn't happen without them. You know.
Yep.
It's just crazy how like they can keep going and just next pit or leapfrog to the next pit, or have 3 guys already ready to go all night and just ready for the car and get us to the finish.
Yeah. So last question for you, and then we'll let you take a break. We'll get back to you. But the fans. So how did you feel the fan support was at this race compared to some of the other races that you did?
It was crazy. It was just like, you know, not racing for a long time. Like I'm new to, you know, off-road racing, not
The support side.
the support
yeah.
side. It's crazy, you know, like, God, like fuck. As a young kid, you know, I was like trying to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know.
And now he's the one
Now
trying
I'm
to
like-
touch your car when you drive
Now
by.
I'm the guy like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, give me autograph. Hey, I want
Yeah,
stickers.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I want. And then I'm like going through the wash. I'm like, wait, dang, like let me take this in. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy because I've always seen the trucks going through there, and I'm like, one day I want to be that guy. You know,
Yep.
going through there. Now I get to do it, and I'm like, they're bringing back the wash. I'm like, hell yeah, I was excited. You know, because as a young kid, I wanted to go through there. You know, be a driver. Now I get to do it, and you know, I got to thank Dave Petter for bringing
Yeah.
me on and been able to race them with them, and just crazy. I'm just thankful. You know, it's crazy.
You watch the
It's-
fans through some of the in-car stuff, and it's raining, it's pouring rain, it's cold.
And those guys are there.
They're there. They're always there. And it's like, and that's why I asked you, it's like that race, the Baja 1000, always seems to draw that crowd of support. That's amazing.
Yeah, and like everywhere I went, I was seeing all the trucks went through and everything went through, and all the lower classes, you know, we started rolling through, and there were still people there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were still cheering on,
Yep,
and then
yep.
taking pictures, and then they're like, go, and I'm like always waving at them,
Yep.
always give them, you know, kind of give them the attention that we're seeing them, and you know,
Kind of brings back the feeling of family to that race. You know, it seemed like it was kind of a big family outing in the old days, and it seems like it's coming back to that now. It was really neat to see the fans and see the drivers interacting with the fans, both at contingency and actually on the race course, you know, sticking your hand out the window if you could get it out that far to wave, or, you know, turning on the sirens or the blue lights or whatever, just to let them know that you really appreciate them being there. And I'm sure those people spend a lot of time and money to get there to cheer for you guys and watch that race. So we noticed that as BILSTEIN, the fan base that we have is very loyal, and the folks come out to get stickers and all that kind of stuff, and we love them. We thank them for being out there for us. So I just wanted to get your take if you felt the same.
Yeah, no, I felt the same, and even like in the middle of nowhere, I mean, there's guys that are just camping and still waiting at us and stuff. I'm like, dude, you were here 12 hours.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
You've been here 45 hours.
Yeah, I'm always giving them attention because
Yep.
it's like, it's crazy. It's, you know, I'm not, you know, it's being there for 12 hours and I give them a what's up, and
Yeah.
I just fly by and they'd be like, what the heck? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm always, hey,
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
give
I
them a
really,
thumbs up or something.
you know, from what I could see, I didn't get to be there like you, but from what I could see, the fans were out in force, even with the weather, and supporting the racers. And that makes me so happy to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the restaurants and food industries out there, like we'll go eat somewhere before while we're pre-running or during the race, like, oh, you're here from Baja? Like, yeah, and they ask like what team, and they're even like watching it there. Like it's even like it's just all in Mexico. It's just all involved with it
Yeah.
during the race. And
That's
it's
why I
so
said
cool.
that family
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's
They always tell me it's like a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
The
on
whole-
the
the whole-
off-road
yeah.
side, but
Yeah.
it's like a Super Bowl down there.
Yeah.
It's a Super Bowl for Zanon.
Yeah. Really, the
Yeah.
kids
That
get out of
is-
school
that's
for the
cool.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, it is. I don't think there's anything like it in the U.S. And
So what about next year, 2026, down in La Paz?
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Baja Sur, it's
they're running it backwards next year.
no, it's gonna be a loop down in
Oh,
La
okay,
Paz
okay.
and
No,
Cabo.
it's,
Yeah.
Cabo, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay,
down
that's
there
right,
racing, I hear it's pretty big.
So are you up for that? I mean, is it in the budget to spend all that time in Cabo San Lucas instead of?
I think we have some pretty good. I don't want to say things yet, but
'Cause
it's still early. I just
It's
came
not
back
in my budget. I won't be there.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I just came back from 1,000, so I don't know. I mean, we talked to Dave yesterday on the phone for a little bit, but it's we got a lot of good things coming our way, but it's just kind of times, time will tell. I mean,
Yeah.
I just got back Monday there, so
But you got to start planning now for next year. I'm sure you are.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a little bit of where we're going, but we don't. Yeah, maybe a spec truck. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, keep us
Or an
posted on
18
that.
class. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, but that's the plan.
Keep us posted. That's exciting. That's super exciting news to see. Leaps and bounds and growth in the teams, especially. So that's super exciting. All right. So RJ's been very patient here. Thank you for your patience. And since are you still active military or are you retired?
I've spent 4 years active duty. I'm in the National Guard now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service, first of all, and foremost, since we just passed Veterans Day. I am so glad to have people out there like you out there keeping me safe. It's makes me feel good. So now, on to the Baja 1000. You have been working very closely with Kyler on this Bronco, which is a very unique story. And I think I'm going to let you and Kyler go through the story. How did this start? How did you get this thing prepped and ready to go for racing? And then we'll hear about the race and your trials that you went through to get there. So I'll let you guys just take it. So tell us how it started.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny. The more you hear about the story, the crazier it becomes.
The more times it gets told.
Yeah, the more the
fish gets bigger every time.
The whole thing started off as crazy, because I've never been involved with off-road racing, other than like watching stuff on the internet and like going off-roading with friends out on the weekends. I've never actually. This was my very first off-road race. The only time I've ever raced anything before is like playing Gran Turismo 3 on PlayStation. That's as close as I've ever gotten.
What's your username? Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. Or like going to.
So are you flying real choppers or drones?
Well, I mean but pretty soon they might be switching over to drones. So we'll see. But I've never raced before, but I've been going to Mexico since I was a toddler. I was born and raised in Southern California. My aunt had a place in Mexico for, just going on over 35 years. So since I was a very, very small child, we'd be going to Mexico. And that's kind of was my introduction to the 1000. I never really went to the race as a child because like my family has no interest in off-road racing or doing anything off-road. It all started with me. So we'd go down to Mexico and like I would just see the trucks and the trailers and think, oh, those are the coolest things I've ever seen. A trophy truck looks, you're a toddler, it looks like a monster truck.
Tires,
So I'm just sitting there thinking like that is cool. And I have no idea what it actually is,
or how much it costs.
Yeah, absolutely not. I just see these really cool trucks in Mexico. I'm like, that's cool. So that's where the interest in the 1000 started. I was interested in it before I even knew what it was. It wasn't until like junior high and high school when I actually learned about the 1000.
Right.
Like I've said it a couple times. My biggest inspiration for wanting to do the 1000 was Dust to Glory.
Oh
Dust to Glory came out back. I was in either junior high or high school. I saw that and I was like, that is the absolute coolest thing I've ever
watching
seen.
Malcolm Smith race through the races and
Mouse McCoy doing the Iron Man stuff. I was like, so the level of inspiration I got just from that one documentary, I was like, this is the number one bucket list item. I need to do this before I die. It has to happen. And then like I joked around with like a buddy, like trying to build. I had an F-150 when I was in high school. And I was like, let's just go put some long gravel in this and go hit the 1000. We just got this. Yeah, just go do it.
Sounds like the story Justin Park told us about his high school Ford Ranger that turned into his race truck.
That was the plan. But I'm in high school. I work at Target. And Target's not really
gonna race the 1000.
So it wasn't really attainable in high school, obviously. And shortly after high school, I ended up joining the military. I was stationed in New York. Stationed in Alabama.
No Baja racing there.
No Baja racing out there. So like the passion was still there, but it kind of died out. Like the actual interest in like getting involved because it was unrealistic. I get in active duty. You get 4 weeks of leave a year, and you're not spending that time going to race Mexico.
Exactly.
You're going home to see family and
there's
stuff.
Other things going on.
Mm-hmm. So after active duty, I switched back to the National Guard. I came back to California, and after that, I started getting more involved with career stuff with the military. Still not a lot of focus on off-road racing, and that's when I decided that like, hey, I'm gonna buy this Bronco. You know, this Bronco seems pretty cool. They just came out with it. Ended up getting a 22 Badlands, and
which has BILSTEIN stock on it.
Mhm.
SUV
Yep.
shocks.
Yep. And that thing was cool, you know. And it's funny. I joke about it. So I drive it like a trophy truck. You know?
Why not?
Yeah.
Drive it like you stole it.
It's got the goat modes in it, and one of the goat modes is called Baja mode.
Yeah.
You can't give me something called Baja mode and not expect me to drive it like
Exactly.
it's in Baja. And you know, just going like to some of the off-road stuff, going like to Bronco Super Celebration, United by Bronco, like actually building up traction. I started doing stuff on social media and making a lot of friends in the Bronco community. And that's when it kind of like it hit me. It hit me last September. I was like, you know what? Like I've gotten some traction, you know, in the off-road industry that I never had before. I've got this Bronco that, like, I mean, Ford races the stock Raptor, you know,
Yep.
they have the stock class. They're finishing. Like, why can't I? Why can't I make it? So that's when I started talking. I started talking about it last year, about like late September. And it wasn't until November I was like, yeah, 100%, we're doing this. I worked with my buddy Fabian from Armadillo Designs, and we actually went to Mexico. That was the first time I actually got to spectate the race in person for the first time.
So you watched last year's race.
Yeah, so that was the first time I actually got to see the race in person. And that's like, yeah, we're doing this. We're no matter what,
Game
we're
on.
gonna find a way to
Green light,
make
let's
it
go.
happen. And I mean, that's like, it's crazy in itself. You know, it's like talking to people last year at the race. We stopped at a lot of the pits and stuff like that, talking to some of the people, because it was to spectate the race, but also to get intel. You know, like we wanted to learn like the ins and outs of what we needed to do and stuff. And one of the questions we wanted to ask everybody, because we're recording the whole thing, you know, we were like doing like a little docu-series thing on YouTube to be able to play. One of the things that we were asking people is like, what do you think are my odds of finishing? And
Zero.
Yeah. It was funny because like a lot of the people were like,
See, that's what I was talking about. Like me winning 1,000.
Yeah.
It's just like, you won 1,000. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what? So it's like,
So-
for me right now,
yeah.
it's like, dude, like,
Very
like,
few
dude,
people.
I still can't believe I won.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you know, there's always people like saying, well, you won it. I mean, it took me 8 years. It took me 10 years, 12 years. I've
Just
been
crazy
doing
to
this for
finish
30
it.
years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Finish
I've
it
been doing this for
winning.
30 years. I can't even get a Baja win.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
a Baja 1,000 win. So it's like, oh shit. So it's like, you know.
well, that was the
Crazy.
thing is like the people who are actually do this for like a living. They do this professionally. Here's some kid, you know, that walks up that like, oh yeah, like I want to race to 1,000. Well, how much race history do you have, or what kind of race background you got? I'm like, I don't have any. I've driven this Bronco a couple thousand. That's pretty.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So like a lot of them was like, yeah, I give you like a 10% chance. We had one guy that said, well, I give you probably over a 15% chance, and I was like, well, over a 15% chance could also technically be 100%. So
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when we started the planning to get the build going. I started reaching out because obviously I'm self-funded for this entire race.
Right. Privateer. No big giant corporate sponsors except for us.
Yeah, that was it. You know, that was huge. This sponsorship, I couldn't believe it happened. It was definitely one of the biggest sponsors that I didn't think was attainable. You know, so super stoked about that. That's actually when me and Kyler started talking, because it was the actual planning on how we're gonna get this thing built and what we're gonna need shock wise. But yeah, like I said, I'm self-funded, so I've relied heavily on different sponsors to get stuff onto the rig. And the vehicle itself, it's almost completely stock, which is kind of
It's
it's
just
also
modified it for safety, more or less, right?
yeah, the
Cages,
cage,
things like
the fuel cell is obviously required for
All
for
safety,
score.
yep.
Any safety wise was all done fabrication wise by Southwest Performance.
that.
It was also another big sponsor of mine. And other than that, like the engine, the only engine modification I've done is intercooler relocation, and the only reason we did that is just we wanted some more ground clearance up in the front.
Right.
But the engines, other than the intercooler, completely stock, still stock air filter. Transmissions, I've got the 2.3, so it's the little EcoBoost engine,
Yeah.
the inline 4 with the manual transmission, you know. And people are even people asking like, you have a manual? Like, what's wrong with you? But it's a solid that package, in my opinion, it's the best package you get in the Bronco.
I don't think people understand. You're describing a completely stock vehicle that went nearly 1,000 miles on probably the worst race course in the world on that day in less than 36 hours. Privately funded with Kyler's Race Tune 8112s. The same product, 8112 Blackhawks. So we just changed the name so everybody can get hyper about that. But yeah, I mean, that part right there, when he was telling me about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't really kind of realize
you were one of the people that said he wouldn't make it.
Yeah, I know. I was. Well, because he's like, yeah, get it. Well, I didn't realize like kind of the project we had in front of us. Like he came up to me and Chris told me first, like, hey, I got this guy. Like we're building them 8112 Bronco Blackhawk shocks. Need you to build them. Here's his number. Talk to him. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'm talking to him and I'm expecting like a truck's done.
Yeah.
It's got like whatever shocks on it and it's ready. And he's texting me. He's like, yeah, dude, like we're going to pull like all-nighter to get this whole thing done. I was like, oh, cool. He's like, oh, we just finished the roll cage on it. It's not painted. It's not anything. There's no electrical done. It says me a photo. It's just the shell.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. And he told me
the race is tomorrow.
Yeah. Basically. He told me he's going to SEMA and then Baja. So we had like, from the time I think we started talking to everything, about like 2.5 weeks to pretty much get the shocks on the car to be ready. So yeah, Chris told me it and kept in contact, and we did the first. I made the shocks. Kind of went off of what I knew with it. I knew it was a 2-door, so I kind of did some change to the shocks. Kind of added different valving into it to compensate for short wheelbase and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you still, I mean, even if you had all the knowledge in the world, you couldn't build that shock to win the Baja on a stock Bronco. We don't have it. We don't have that knowledge, but that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of shot in the dark. Like they kind of told me, and I was like, all right, well, we kind of changed up a lot of things. So I kind of was building it together, and then I'll throw in the dyno, compare it to like our stock shocks. And then like, okay, that's not enough. Like I want to do this more, I think. So kind of threw the rear and fronts together, best I could, what I wanted with valving and different oil and pistons and stuff. And then it was like, here, let's try this out. So gave it to them. They took it out to SEMA. And then I think a day before they went to Baja, it was our only day. Our testing day we had.
Would you say you got like 3 hours worth of testing on it?
It was 40 miles.
40 miles. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild experience. And I get there and I'm like, oh, cool. And then it's like first time you met Ken, his co-driver. And it was the first time he told me he was racing. I'm like, this is going to be a wild race.
Yeah.
Like, this is like building up for like a movie.
He was one of those guys going, I think you got a 2% chance.
But yeah, and kind of we were out there for a bit and changed up the rear, changed the valving up.
This is during pre-running in Baja, or
this is at Tudu. Yeah, went to
Okay.
Ocotillo Wells for the whole day and took the rears apart, did some adjustments, changed the valving, was a lot better. And then next day came back and we did the fronts. We had no time. I kind of snuck in and came in, did the fronts real quick, and then they were out to Baja like the day after. So like, doesn't sound that crazy when we talk about it, but like I look back on it,
it's
those
totally
like 2
crazy.
weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Those 2 weeks to it, like I mean, even crazy for a hit.
Well, the reason we put this shock on the table, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's just crazy. So this is the actual shock, except for the cutaways that was on the truck. We changed the name of it to Blackhawk since you're a Blackhawk pilot, so we had to make those two things match for you. But I mean, you look at this. That's the actual travel of that shock. So how much travel are we talking about? 5 inches?
About, yeah, in the front and the rear's a bit more, maybe like 7 around.
So a truck with 5 inches of travel going over 6 foot tall whoop-de-doos on Zoo Road in the rain.
Yeah.
Okay, back to your side now. I don't think people understand the levity of this situation that we got going on here.
Well, that's like I said. The more I talk about it, the more people are like, wait.
That's why I have to keep stopping.
Yeah, like just another example. You know, like the time frame he's talking about. 6 months ago, that Bronco was a totaled Bronco.
Yeah, did you buy it totaled, or did you?
I bought it totaled.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on its way to a pickup part.
Okay.
Just because it's a salvage Bronco, right?
Right.
Salvage title. And it was on its way to a pickup part, and I found it on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, "This is perfect.
This is it.
This is it." You know, because the original plan was I was gonna do everything to my daily driver,
Right.
Which obviously has its own like why are you doing that? Like you're an idiot. Why are you doing that? You know?
Well, like I have one on the trailer and one to tow it with.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. It's like this was the goal. You know, I was 100% dedicated to the cause. I'm gonna get to the 1,000 no matter what. If that requires me balling up potentially my daily driver, it is what it is. You know, I'm getting to Baja this year. So we started making the plans to start doing the roll cage on my daily driver Bronco, and once we started like getting like closer to like actually starting roll cage and stuff, that's when I found the totaled Bronco, and it's the same thing. You know, it's the only difference is this one is a 23. It's also a black diamond versus a Badlands, and it only had 17,000 miles on it. My other Bronco, I'm at 78,000 now, so it's a little more miles on it.
Yeah.
But everything else was the same engine, same transmission. Like this is perfect. So I bought this totaled Bronco, and the cool thing was like my other Bronco, I've got a bunch of fiberglass work on it. So all the hood, the fenders, the quarter panels, I had those sitting in my garage.
Nice.
So I was able to essentially make this thing look presentable with no money.
Yep.
You know, no money
Recycled from your old parts or your takeoff parts.
Yeah, yeah. And the only mechanical damage that we could find on it that really was the rear differential was bent. But we were planning on throwing
That's the part that leaked during the race, right? No.
Well, no, yeah. Well, actually, it did. Because we ended up swapping the rear diff to a Dana 60.
Okay,
we
bigger
just want to, you know, it's a 1,000-mile race.
Yeah.
We want something a little bit more beefy than what comes on the Bronco factory. So we saw bent diff, whatever. Like we're gonna replace the rear diff anyways.
No biggie.
Yeah. So
That goes in the junk heap.
yeah, exactly. So we saw this, we grabbed it, and I mean we didn't actually start the roll cage until September.
Yeah.
I told you it gets
Yeah.
worse. The more I talk about it, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
But we started roll cage September, and we hit it hard. Like he was saying, we did some pretty late nights. I think the longest we worked on the vehicle straight was 38 hours. Yeah. Just getting it ready, you know, because we had time frames we had to meet. We didn't meet any of them almost, but we had time frames that we had to meet. Like getting the vehicle wrapped, that was our 38 hours our stint because we had to get it up to the guy that was wrapping
You're
it.
no different than any other driver I've interviewed. They all work like this.
Yeah.
You know, like, wait, I've got 5 minutes. Wait, let's take the rear end apart one more time. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I'm actually the opposite. I'm military, you know.
Right.
I'm sure you've heard like the phrase "hurry up and wait."
Yep, exactly.
So that's ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, you have to have everything
I need
done a year in
everything
advance.
done,
Yeah.
super early. So like I started picking up Zins and and nicotine. It's like I need more nicotine. This is
keep me going.
This is stressing me out, man. You know, like all this last minute stuff is driving me nuts.
Got addicted to Monsters and Red Bull and all this kind of stuff. just to
Monster
get
doesn't
the
have
job
enough zing. It's
Yeah.
the C4s now. Yeah, C4 is where it's at. You know, if your face is itching, you know it's working.
Yeah. Feel the tingles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, despite all odds, we were able to get the vehicle done, and it was all super last minute. Like, we got the vehicle ready for SEMA, the morning of leaving for SEMA, but it wasn't ready for Baja.
Right.
When it was ready for SEMA, so we got it out to SEMA. Obviously, it's at SEMA for a week, and then I drove it out during the SEMA parade and drove it straight to Ocotillo Wells, essentially.
for testing.
And then we didn't make the vehicle ready for Baja until the day we left for Baja. You know, so that was kind of the theme. The theme of this whole entire race has been Marshall's Law.
Right.
Like from the very beginning, everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yep.
And that ended up being the theme for the entire process, from building it to getting things ready.
Just showing up
Just
at
showing
one of the
up.
worst race courses in the history of Baja.
Yeah.
In a stock truck.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Yeah, we did change up the upper and lower control arms.
Right.
But other than that, it's all factory suspension. Obviously, other than shocks, like all the trailing arms and stuff like that, it's factory.
Yep.
There's very very minimal upgrades done to this vehicle.
Testament to the solidness of the chassis, I guess.
Yeah.
If it went 1,000 miles off road faster than it should have, and still drove across the finish line. There's this big controversy between the Bronco and the Jeep. Well, I think the Bronco, it proved itself in this race. I mean, we have OE relationships with both Ford and Jeep, so we can't say anything bad about either vehicle, but I think the Bronco pulled one out of the hat.
You can't say anything bad, but I can.
Yeah. On this one. Yeah, you're welcome to say what you want. I have to keep the relationship good here. So.
I got you. You know, it is funny. Like the off-road industry can be a little bit toxic, you know, especially with like in competing vehicles. And there's definitely a little bit of tribalism going on when it comes to the vehicle. Jeeps are really good at rock crawling. You know, that's what they're made for.
Yep.
In my opinion, though, I think the Bronco's better at everything else.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there, and you hear that. I mean, we go to all these trade shows and things like that, and you know, and in previous podcasts, we've always said pick the vehicle that suits what you plan to do with it, right? So, like you said, if you want to be in Moab rock crawling or Sand Hollow, Jeep's probably going to be your vehicle. If you want to have something a little bit more versatile, or you know, more terrain changeable, if you would. Maybe the Broncos. So that's a discussion for a whole nother podcast. I thought I'd throw that in there because, you know, we want the comments, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is 100%. 100%. This is where it's going to happen right now.
Oh, yeah.
Vote in the comments.
You got a Honda
people
talent.
Oh,
This thing is slow.
the rage begins. Yeah.
That's
Garrett's going to get
guys.
overwhelmed with these horrible, nasty comments about that. So,
I think what's crazy is so far, like his story, all we've talked about is the prep.
right.
We talked about Baja.
We haven't even got to the race, which was, what, almost 45 hours long for you?
It was, I mean, we woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. The house that we were staying at is about an hour north of Ensenada. So we drove the race truck to Ensenada. So, I mean, I started driving it well before the start of the race.
Exactly an hour before.
Yeah, we got there. We left at 7, got there at 8, which was obviously a little too early. None of us have done this before. Like
Right.
my navigator, Ken, he's raced like Best in the Desert and stuff like that in UTVs.
Right.
First score race.
Right.
So like he has a
In
lot.
a Bronco. Yeah.
Well, in the Bronco too, yeah. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, exactly.
This poor man,
Yeah.
he's used to all the wheel travel in the world. And
5 inches of travel. Your knees are paying for it, man. You need a kidney belt in the truck.
Yeah, exactly. So we weren't 100% sure, so we did show up a little bit early. We got there at 8 o'clock. We didn't start until, I think our official start time was 10:38. So it was a very long day. Getting just from the beginning, you know, waking up. I'm not a morning person, man. I
Come
can
on,
stay up all night
military.
long.
The trumpets start sounding. You got to get out there, man. Reveille, man. Get going.
And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, you guys didn't do much pre-running, huh? You guys...
Zero
Yeah.
pre-running.
Yeah,
I didn't pre-run.
So all that wonderful stuff we were talking about with you, he didn't do.
I didn't.
So the
see,
rock that was in the road, he ran over it twice.
I didn't see an
because he
inch.
missed the beacon and had to come around again.
Yeah, I didn't see an inch of that course before.
Yeah.
My navigator, and I had a backup driver because my plan was to do the whole course. I wanted to drive the whole thing. That was the goal, right? But obviously, like the goal was to finish, so I had a backup driver. Him and my navigator went out to go do a little bit of pre-running. Because he wanted to see some of the course, and then I wanted to get the other guy some steering wheel time.
Yeah, seat time.
Because he has a Bronco Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
But he's never driven a 2-door manual. You know?
Right.
So I wanted him to get a little bit of time in the vehicle. So like if he did get thrown into the driver's seat, he'd at least know how to drive the vehicle, be a little more.
Did you call him up or did you run the whole thing?
I almost did. I almost did.
But you ran the whole race Ironman.
I did,
You
yeah,
sat in
yeah.
the seat the whole time.
I almost, so the question you asked him earlier was the hardest portion of the course. For me was that, I think it was like an 80-mile stretch of highway.
Oh, yeah.
That honestly for me was the hardest because like I've been driving this whole time.
Right.
And then not being engaged with the driving, I'm falling asleep at the wheel. You know?
Right.
Like I swerved a couple times. Oh God! Like,
Well, I start seeing stuff in the road.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, you're
if
hallucinating.
you watch the live
There's a
stream, we
goblin.
have like I'm seeing things.
Yeah,
What I'm like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? And then it was Austin at this point that was navigating for me. He's like, it's just a puddle, dude. Calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I can only imagine because I was driving through there and I was trying to look. I couldn't tell if there was a truck in front of me, like someone broken down the middle of the
The
road.
lights and all that.
I'm like, dude, what is that in the road? And I like swerved, and I was like, dang, like the people that have been driving the whole time or a section, like
That seems
'cause
dangerous.
you drive
to me.
60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
80 miles, you can't go. Any
And you're
faster.
engaged, right? You're looking at cactuses and rocks and washes and
Well,
someone's
unless you're
telling
at
you.
night, you
Yeah.
don't see anything.
Yeah, yeah. And then you get on the road and you're like,
Yeah, that was it. That was it for me.
I think for me it was the opposite. I think that was the easiest.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Get your helmet
I
clean.
already had that in my head. I'm
yeah.
like, speed section.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to get out. So
Yeah.
my body already knew. Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
It's done for me.
We're not
Like,
going to
it's-
get beat up for a few
Yeah.
minutes here. We can relax and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely not for me. That was the portion that I almost like I threw the towel in. You know.
Yeah.
I even called up. I was like, hey Austin, get ready to swap out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
Yep.
I need a break.
Yep. And then you found the no-dos under the seat, and you're like, okay, I'll pop a couple.
Yeah, right. No, it ended up happening. It was like, well, let's do the swap at the next pitch just to save time. It's 50 miles of off-road.
You got your second wind.
Well, actually, once I got back to being engaged with like actually train and everything, I got the second wind.
Yeah. And that section is like San Felipe. That's a pretty rough section too. So you gotta be pretty engaged.
So you got your ass woke up fast after you got off the road.
Instantly just straight back into it.
Yeah. And it ended up working out too because Ken, he was ready for a break.
Yeah.
So instead of hopping in with the driver, instead of hopping in the driver's seat, Austin hopped in as a navigator, and then he took over as navigator.
Nice.
But here's the thing too, like I said, my entire team, none of us have any racing history other than of Ken Brown. Ken Brown is the only one that's got any racing background whatsoever. Austin, he's the same thing as me. You know, he's a little bit different. He's an F-16 pilot in the Air Force. Just a dude that likes Broncos, you know, and that's all of us all met. We all met at the Bronco events and stuff like that, and got really close. Everybody's really close friends, and it was just me. It was like, hey, you guys down to go race Baja?
Yeah.
I need a pit team, so everyone hopped on board.
That's a point I wanted to elaborate on too. Is, you know, on socials, I noticed that your pit team was basically like the Bronco Club of San Diego, or the Bronco Club.
Dude, we had more Fords down there than Ford.
Yeah.
Every time,
literally looked like a Bronco rally in its pit.
They kept posting videos, and every video they posted, it was just more and more Broncos.
Yeah.
Videos just kept going more and more.
The support.
Like,
I mean,
geez.
this is like one of those niche groups where they support each other, and I've noticed this with the Bronco guys at the shows that we do, where they stay together, man. They get the job done.
The Bronco community is absolutely insanely awesome. You know, I love everybody that came down. You know, because they didn't get paid. You know, like I supplied lodging. You
pay them in beer or anything, or
a little bit of beer. Yeah. But they just wanted to come and support the cause, and it's just a bunch of people, a bunch of the bros, you know, that go to these Bronco meetups that like the idea. You know, everyone's seen the Baja 1000 and like on Instagram and stuff like that. So everybody was interested.
Yeah, it's the chance of a lifetime to go down there and support someone. And yeah, it's still, to me, it's so exciting that I don't think we could cover it in 10 hours of podcast. But I do think people would watch it if we decided to do that. But yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, when you told me about this, and when I got the email through the work, it's like, man, you gave him 2% and he actually finished the race.
What's crazy is like the more and more like hanging out with RJ and helping him out. Like I saw his car at SEMA. I felt like I was along for the project too, because I saw it at SEMA, and then like we both drove out to Ocotillo, helped him out there, and then we left like Baja or go to Mexico at the same time, but I went to San Felipe. I told him, I got to a point, I was like, dude, if you need anything, I'll go to Ensenada, like just because like I'm like, dude, I want this guy to finish. Like, hey, like it's a sick story, like just all of it building up to it. Yeah. And just being there to supporting.
Well, both these stories are extremely amazing, and that's why we obviously are very, very thankful that you guys took the time out of your schedule. I know you're still probably trying to catch up on sleep.
Emails, you know,
I'm
texting me, and it's like, boss is texting me, I'm sure right now, phone's ringing. It's like,
when I finished the race, I had 280 unread text messages.
Yeah.
And I was gonna text y'all. And
you're gonna add one to it for him.
Well, I was gonna text both. I was like, dude, their phones are blown up. Like, that's why I got lucky. I saw you at the finish line.
We saw Nate. You saw you guys at the finish. Well, I think we saw
Garrett.
Garrett too. So
we were all there.
It was awesome. You know,
just
unbelievable. Thank you guys, like from BILSTEIN and everyone, all the whole facility here, everyone. You know,
yeah, we saw some
crazy. Garrett
posted some photos. I think it was before the weekend, but actually posted a lot of photos, and it was amazing to see the BILSTEIN crew down there back together in Baja getting the job done. But before we let you get back to your emails, you got to share the finish line debacle. Now, be nice, but I think the folks need to hear how hard the finish was. So we know that it rained a whole bunch, probably the first or second wettest Baja in the running of the race ever. But you were telling me this finish line story that I find not unbelievable for Baja because it gets weird sometimes. But let's hear the finish line story. So you spent, what were you, about 34 hours in the car?
We hit the last pit stop, and at this point, I'm like, we could still make this. We have a chance to make this.
Well, we need to explain. So the Baja 1000 has a time limit.
Mhm.
Is
Yep.
36
hours,
right?
It changes depending on the course length,
Right.
And the course difficulty.
Right.
This year it was 854 miles and 86 hours to finish.
Okay.
So I pull into that last pit, and I'm looking at the time like we still have a good shot of getting across the finish line. And that's what I told the pit we're ready to win, saying this has to be the fastest pit we've done so far. We have to get it in and out.
Gas and air in the tires.
Yeah. And I told Austin, I was like, I like you revive me really well. And I need to drive faster than I think Ken's comfortable with. Because like I said, Ken's used to UTVs and long travel. You know.
Comfortable in a Bronco.
Yeah,
UTVs go a lot faster, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is like we're speed limited, but I'm still going to push this thing faster than we've ever driven it before, just to get it across the finish line. So if I don't drive it fast enough, we're not going to make it. So it doesn't matter anyway.
All for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Austin, he was like, "All right, dude, let's get it." And we get through that pit and we start going. This is 100% the absolute fastest I've driven this vehicle, and that's when the shocks even got pushed to the absolute limits. Because if I'm be amazed if those bump stops are still there, man.
Well, they're there on that one. So
Yeah.
So stop you 1 second. I'll let you get back to it. But we plan to do that for the folks that are interested. We plan to take the shocks off your vehicle and lay them side by side. 1,000 miles through Baja. Brand new, and do that comparison.
I'm excited to see that too.
And I think if people don't know, these are the first 8112 Blackhawks to be in the Baja, I believe, and complete it.
Yeah,
and especially with that long. So we're gonna do it. Tear down, compare old components to new components, and just show them. And
because
we're
BILSTEIN and we want to see if there's any way we can improve the way that damper works, and we're just really curious at how much wear and tear happens in 1,000 miles in Baja. So again, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Yeah, like I said, we started pushing it really hard, and we were making really good time, like well above the time required to get across the finish line. And I completely forgot about the rain. Right, it was just
you're in a closed car, except for there's no windshield.
There's no windshield. Yeah, I at this point I've been driving for it was like 33 hours.
You forgot your name at that point.
Yeah, my mind was mush. Yeah. But I was still able to drive a car somehow. I don't know, but we start getting it, and I see the clouds. I'm like, oh man, like we don't have any like wet weather gear on or anything like that. It's just our race suits, and we start hitting the rain and the puddles, and like it's still warm enough, so it's not a big deal. But the rain started getting worse and worse, and then like fog rolled in. I was joking, it's like if they made a movie out of this, people be watching and be like, "Yeah, that's kind of cheesy. That wouldn't actually happen that way." Like, no,
like, it was just a nightmare from hell that never ended. Right?
You sit there and it's like, this can't get any worse.
Yeah, it can.
And then it does.
Yeah, the fog up there gets pretty bad.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, the fog. As soon as the fog rolled, I was like, dude, come on, like cut us some slack.
And the fog, it makes it cold, right? Because the fog's coming off the ocean, and that water's cold. So this time of year,
yeah, I think it was the last 30 miles is when it got the most difficult. One of the reasons, like, we didn't find out about the course change until a couple hours. It was too late. Yeah, it was a couple hours prior. So while we're driving, we're trying to figure out where the new finish line is. And in my mind, my mind's not there completely. So I'm thinking, new finish line, they must have changed the course completely. I didn't realize it was basically still the course.
Right.
So we're trying to figure out where is the new finish line. So we're sending messages through Zello, trying to figure out where the finish line. Someone says, it's 820 miles, the 820 mile marker. So I was like, okay, that's where we need to go. We get to 820, there's nothing there. Yeah. It's another VCP.
Yep.
We reach out again, like, oh no, it's 830. I'm like, dude, that's far, right? That's really far. I don't know, like with our time frame and everything, and like I'm getting to the point where like I'm like breaking. I'm at the breaking point, right? Yeah. It's cold. It's in the low 50s.
Back to basic training.
Yeah, it works, dude. Basic training was easier than this. I'm drenched. There's so much water on me that there's water in my boots. When I'm moving my toes around, I can feel the water
squishy.
Yeah,
your toes are getting all
dude. And that's the thing. It's like it was low 50s and being damp. Everything, even like the
there's air moving through the windshield. It's chilling you out, and you got your Parker pumper on. Yours died.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like this driving. Like,
should have left the windshield on.
Yeah,
I was joking.
Crank the heater on.
Just to be fair, the windshield removal wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we start getting cold, and like I have my gloves on, but the
Which are
gloves are
soaking wet,
drenched.
yeah.
So now like I'm getting to the point I can't feel my fingertips. My wrists are seizing up. My arms are getting stiff.
Yep. So how about a flat tire?
So that's what ended up happening, right? We had 2 flats earlier, but that's just, it's a race.
Yeah.
It's a Baja 1000. You're going to probably get flats. After we hit the 830 mile marker, and we're both freezing, it's absolutely miserable. We see that 830 is not it either.
Right.
So we reach
Keep
out
going.
again, yeah, and then it's like, oh, it's 835. And I'm like, dude, like I don't know if we can make that. I don't know if we can make 835. It's pretty far.
Cue the flat tire.
Oh yeah, so that's when we start really driving, right? And at this point, my air pumper is clogged completely, so there's no airflow. So the inside of it's completely fogged out from breathing, right? The outside's completely gunked up with mud because all of our towels are now full of mud. So anytime we try wiping, you're just smearing the mud in.
Whole visor.
So now I'm riding with the visor a little bit up.
Oh yeah.
Just so I could see where we're going.
Yeah.
And then if I see we're about to hit a puddle, I just look down, let the water splash, and look back up and keep going. Well, what ended up happening was I looked down, water hit me, I look back up, and as soon as I look up, another puddle right in my face, and it's just mud, and there's other stuff in there. I don't want to know what was in it because it definitely had a
serious
funky,
amoeba. Yeah.
it definitely had a funky taste to it.
And it smelled bad too.
Yeah. But at that point, it wasn't just water; it was dirt. And whatnot. So my eyes are completely caked with a bunch of dirt, and I had to stop because I can't see anything. I can't open my eyes. My left eye, if I even try to open it, the amount of pain I couldn't do it. My right eye, I could open it just enough to be kind of able to see, but it was still painful. So I had to shut it every once in a while to kind of do like, oh man,
Try and clean it with your tears.
yeah, exactly. But I was like, we got to keep going. So now I'm driving like this, like barely able to see. I'm
You got like a
basically driving
1-inch
blind.
view out your eye.
Yeah, I needed a walking stick to be able to keep doing this drive, and we were still driving at a very, very fast pace. And don't forget to mention that now all the lights are covered in mud, so we only see like 10 feet in front of us. Yeah, like I said, worst
It's
case.
pitch black.
Like you guys were at night too.
Yeah,
right?
it's pitch
This is
black
like-
and it's raining.
This is like 10, 15
with fog. Yeah.
I was like I said, absolute worst case scenario. And now I can't see. We end up hitting something, and we hit it hard. And I noticed that now the car's turning to the right. I'm like, oh man, like what the hell did we break? I hop out real quick. I look. I see it's just a flat tire. I'm thinking like it's probably like a tie rod or something. Just a flat. I go back to Austin. I'm like, dude, it's a flat. We don't have time to change it. We gotta limp it. So I drove the last 3 miles with the flat tire, and then that's when we pulled up to the gate, and the gate was closed.
So they basically said, everyone who's going to finish has finished. We're locking this gate. I've had that happen to me on marathons where they had the road closed while we were running, and then they reopened it while we were still on the course. So don't like that.
No.
So, yeah.
It was kind of like, it was like ultimate defeat, you know, because not only are we absolutely miserable and we're cold, I'm in the beginning stages of hypothermia for sure. I can't feel my fingers, so I'm sitting there thinking, am I getting frostbite? I can't.
How
feel my
bad did
fingers.
you want to just drive over the gate and drive across the finish?
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I did. I really thought about it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't want to mess up this rancher's gate. You know, it's kind of messed up.
Even though he's the one that locked it before the race was done.
Well, that's the thing is like we were so confused about what was going on because to beginning with we were confused. We didn't know where the finish line was.
Right.
So for all I knew, this wasn't even the correct gate.
Right.
You know? And at that point, I'm thinking like, that's it, man. This is as far we're getting.
We finished behind a locked gate.
Yeah,
As the
and
DNF.
We at this point, like there's a bunch. We're still live streaming. Like
Right.
we had a hit that was so hard that everything turned off in the vehicle. Like the engine turned off, everything blacked out. Even like
Airbags.
No, I'm not even joking. If I had the airbags in it for sure,
Yeah,
it was
deployed.
it was just the hardest hit I've ever had in a vehicle that wasn't an accident. And I even thought, I was like, that's it, dude. This is the end of the race. Cause I thought there's no way that suspension is still in one piece, but I started the car, started up. Okay. The first step, we're good. Put it in reverse, backed up. Like, all right, we're good. Let's see if we can get over the slump, get over, car still driving. My mind was blown that this thing wasn't destroyed
At that point, yeah.
But yeah, we once we got to that point, like we're like I don't know if like one if it wasn't safe to keep going the way we were going. Like we definitely had a lot of risk.
Had to
by
be
pushing.
close.
Yeah, there's some moments. I'm curious to watch the live stream because I'm pretty sure we almost drove off the mountain at one point. But we got to the gate. It was closed, and at this point now we're trying to just figure out where we need to go. But like the Zello isn't working. We have no self signal, right? So we can't call anybody. And at this point, like, man, we're gonna die out here. Like, we can't even get a hold of one. We're literally
3 miles from the finish line. We're dead.
We're about to die. Like that's we're talking, and like how asked Austin
call in
like,
the pararescue.
I asked Austin, I was like, can you drive? And he's like, dude, I can't see. I can't drive. So we were just sitting there trying to like. I'm sitting there like I need to find a way to clean up my eyes so I can at least see what we're doing. Yeah. And it just so happened that somebody from our pit stop pulled up, and he's like, "Hey, Archie, it's Tyler. It's Tyler. You good? You good?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm not good." Like, and I'm curious of what they saw too, because we have a bunch of people doing media, recording stuff, and like I'm curious what they saw rolling up and like how detrimental it looked.
Yeah.
You know, it was probably pretty. I'm glad she didn't see it. It's like it was pretty bad. But what I didn't realize was the live stream was still going, and everybody was watching, right? And apparently, like we were the last vehicle still making that push to get to the finish line. So like a bunch of people hopped onto our feed to watch.
Oh, nice.
So we had like it was like 7,000 people.
Man standing.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Yeah, and it at this point, like they see like the gates closed, right? And there's other drivers pulling up, and everybody's pissed off that the gates closed. And it was actually one of our competitors, Dave Sykes. He pulls up to the gate, sees that it's closed, and saw us on the other side of the gate. So he came back over to the score and he's like, your guy's over there.
Yeah.
He's stuck on the other side of the gate. Unlock the gate, right? So
did someone come unlock the damn gate?
No one ever did. But what was cool is score realized that like, yeah, this is kind of messed up. So they changed the time frame.
Okay.
And
they give you a little time credit.
A little time credit for it, yeah.
Gate being locked.
Yeah.
So that was your finish line, the lock gate.
Yep, that was it. That's where we made it to. We couldn't go any further across the finish line.
And the finish line was what, about 3 miles away?
No, it was 1 mile.
1 mile.
I think it was actually less than 1 mile. It was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We made it with we got to the gate with 8 minutes to spare, I believe.
So they kind of said, all right, since the gate was locked, we'll call this the end for you guys, and then backed it up.
I wasn't there for the conversation.
But I mean, 1 mile.
I wasn't there physically.
You could have covered 1
mentally.
mile.
Yeah. There's no. At that point, it was just a dirt
Even
road.
with a flat, you could have covered 1 mile.
We did 3 miles with that flat. We would have made that last mile in well under 8 minutes.
Incredible, just absolutely incredible story. I'm so happy that you got to share it while it was fresh, because that's what. To me, that's what makes it so cool, is that this only happened like a day and a half ago, right? So, and you're here now. You're safe. You got some food. You got some water. I'm curious to see what the Bronco looks like when you take it off the trailer.
Yeah.
It's probably really hammered.
From what I've seen, just from it being dirty, it looks destroyed.
Yeah.
But like good destroyed. Like it was driven. So it'll be interesting to see like when it's washed.
Yeah. So you start actually getting into all the things that you need to do before the next race. Now, before we wrap up for today, you've got aspirations of racing King of the Hammers in the Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we got ahead of us. And that's only,
I think it's
3 months.
They just posted it's like 67 days away
like 2
from the
months.
start.
Here we go, right back to the thrash and burn thing again. So you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
So we probably need to let you go and get your truck ready for the next race.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say thank you on behalf of BILSTEIN for believing in our product and running it. And, I mean, proving that they live up to what we say. So you guys did an awesome job out there. And until next time.
Yeah, I mean, truly, the proof. I mean, BILSTEIN was a big presence in off-road racing early on, right? And then we stepped back for a while. And now it's you guys that just revived that. I mean, there's people talking on social media. There's people talking all over the United States, all over the globe about how big of a hit you guys made in the industry for us. So really super appreciative of both of you, all the hard work, all the time and energy that you spent. And thank you for having faith in our products and running them. beyond what we ever thought they would ever do, to take a street-built product in a street-built car and run it for 1,000 miles in the worst off-road race in the world, in the worst race conditions in 50 years. Amazing. And for you, gosh, calculated from the very beginning, followed the rules that you set for yourself and achieve the goal, like flawless. I mean, that's the way I would describe your race. Was 2 flat tires is nothing, right? So flawless. Again, thank you both. Thank you all for watching. If you guys have any comments or questions for the drivers, or you guys want to see anything else, maybe Garrett can put in some photos of the race or some little snippets that were really cool, or maybe even pictures of the people at the finish line, let us know. And we'll see you next time on Shock Talk.